I have parked in that same exact spot one time, and then it was a gigantic one of those stupid dually things. I looked out, I started feeling weird. I basically took paint off my car to pull myself in there because I consider myself a good human being.
Yeah.
This person.
If you were a great human being, you wouldn't have pulled in there in a dually. You would have just done it at a different time.
Well,
in a different
you have
vehicle.
your opinions on
and you'd be talking about ideas.
I'm fucking sick of this city.
Oh, you are?
I am so tired of this city.
Now, it sounds like a lot of people like to hear us bitch about Los Angeles and the zombies. I'm wondering if that's
It's not just the zombies. This city is filled with
Dreamers.
But also people who are completely fucking inconsiderate to a level of almost psychopathy or sociopathy. I mean, I'm hot again.
Okay.
I'm fucking hot again.
Can I jump on the tails of this?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought a lot about this because my contributions to APS tonight are actually going to be what it looks like when you leave your house in Los Angeles for 15 minutes to do a couple errands and how anxiety ridden a human being can get in this city just for 15 minutes of leaving your home and then coming back and what happens in those 15
Try
minutes.
driving from Culver City to Silver Lake at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and needing a coffee. I mean, it's a nightmare.
Now, if I'm Patty and I never lived in
You
LA,
agree, right?
That it's a nightmare.
That this city is filled with too many people and too many of them are inconsiderate and or homeless and drug addicted. I mean, it's a goddamn hellscape.
Let me explain this. Los Angeles, and I'm stealing this from your old boss is my current boss. He doesn't actually use this analogy, but here's the analogy. Never mind. Los Angeles, for a lot of people that live here, is an airport bathroom. That is where you go, where you don't care about the person in the stall next to you because it's such a big city.
It's a broad, stupid statement.
When you're dropping poop in there and you just you make a mess out of things and you don't really care what the other person in the other stall thinks about you. You'll never see them again. And then you don't really clean up the toilet when you're done. And then I don't know.
Dumb analogy.
You throw a tissue that you blew your nose with. You just throw it on the floor and then you leave. People in Los Angeles, because they'll never see you again, and they have an agenda of what they need to do that day because they're fucking selfish narcissists, most of the people that live here.
Sure.
When they cut you off, they don't care because they have somewhere they need to go, and they'll never see you again.
I get the point. The true porta potty of the United States is New Orleans or Las Vegas. People go there, they take a shit,
Vegas,
and
definitely.
they leave. But what happens in this city is that, yes, there is a certain amount of anonymity behind vehicles, behind the size of the city that you're not going to run into people ever again. Stranger danger, stranger aggression. It's all over this city. I pulled into a Coffee Bean today. I needed a dry iced Americano, vanilla, 3/4 powder.
I'd say that's pretty specific, but 99% of the population that go into Starbucks are very special people.
I apologize for the order 95% of the time. And the cashier always laughs and goes, "No worries. That ain't nothing."
Because they'll point at the person behind you and go, "Larry over there, that fuck nut, he wants his froth half full and at 84 degrees."
I pull into this parking lot, and there is a woman who is parked in one of these giant Infinity SUVs. And she is not parked saddled up to the line. She is diagonal across the parking spot, which the vehicle of that size, you can imagine how much space she's taking up. So I pull in right next to her in a kind of
Passive-aggressive way.
Really close. But she's also in her car. So I'm like, she's probably leaving at this point. She's not. We both get out of our cars at the same time, and we head inside. Because the line at Coffee Bean is a little too long, the drive-thru for me. She walks in front of me, maybe 3 feet, 4 feet. Perfect distance for door holding. She almost closed the door. It felt like she and I had already painted a picture of her morals and her ethics.
You've already grafted all that on her.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. And this is my question. When can we deem someone a bad person? She walks into the store, does not hold the door for me at all. Fine. Walks in. There's a line of people. She immediately holds up her phone and starts kind of, excuse me, asking where her mobile order is. Now, in my eyes, this person is a bad person. But I don't know if she works. The question is, if she volunteers at the kennel over the weekend because she loves dogs, is she a bad person? Is it more complex a situation here? And I would argue, no, it's fucking not. No, it fucking isn't. The city is too filled with people. Oh, this is another podcast show, by the way. It's a show where Gavin goof about whatever is top of mind. I'm Dylan, settled up next to One Real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat producer of the podcast over there.
Dylan, this is something I think about a lot. Because I consider myself a nice person.
Can I just finish this really quickly?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Pat.
Well, I'm gonna talk about it. I got more to add.
When you're in a city with this many people, with a pace of life this quickly, the level of decency and concern for others must go up, not down. And it goes down in people's lives so often because it's a big city, it's a fast-paced environment. You need to be more considerate of other people, not less. So this person, in my eyes, is a fucking piece of shit. Pure, unadulterated piece of shit. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask a very shallow question, but it does factor in.
Not attractive.
Not attractive. Not attractive. Okay.
I agree. She's a bad person. You said, what if she works at the kennel over the weekend because she loves dogs? Well, that's a selfish reason that she works at the kennel. That doesn't mean she's a good person. How you do anything is how you do everything. And she did this completely wrong. But I disagree with the point that somehow proves that the city's overpopulated because, again, there was all these people in line acting normal, acting accordingly that you're not paying attention to. The bad actors, you just can't focus on.
That's a good point.
But I would argue, to Dylan's point, if Dylan's at a coffee shop that's the busiest in Nebraska, lesser likelihood of someone behaving the way that someone would in Los Angeles.
Yes.
We see this on a daily basis in Los Angeles.
Right.
I've actually, when I've ventured out into other states other than California, and even sometimes 2 hours out of Los Angeles, there is a completely different disposition of the humanity.
Sure, you go to San Luis Obispo and you have the concentration of likelihood to travel cross country to go to Comet Pizza to shoot up some people goes up, but people are much more considerate,
I think you're disrespecting the high-paced, fast lifestyle of Omaha.
Here's my thing, though, Dylan. That person, and I run into them on at least a weekly basis, a couple of those creatures.
Sure.
I always wonder, how do they succeed in life? Because you don't matter. Once again, I made that analogy you didn't like. She'll never see you again. What the fuck does she care about you or what you think about her? Or what is that person behind the counter? But does she behave different? Still a piece of shit. Does she behave completely different at the law office that she works at? Because you can't be this person and get through life. It will get you fired. It will get people, you'll make enemies. It will get people that don't want to work with you.
I think all that happens is people think you're a bitch or people think you're an asshole.
Well,
and you can get through life like that. You won't be a happy person, but these little things I think are so indicative of the character of somebody. I mean, they're little tiny things that they're the thrown away comments that you should really listen to because that's their truth. That's coming from the bottom of their balls and they're telling you who they are. Someone who parks diagonally across the spot and leaves their car like that and then doesn't hold the door for somebody, then cuts an entire line for their mobile order, that person shouldn't be shot, but maybe.
Yeah. All right. With this, can I start off with my segment?
Yeah.
It's called 15 Minutes in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay. I had two things I had to do before we started. We have a very long recording schedule today.
Right.
Tonight. I had to stop at 7-Eleven to get ice and some other items for the wife.
Sure.
I also had to do bank deposits.
Right.
All right. Let's start off.
Why don't you do that on mobile?
I'm an old school guy.
Patrick.
Yeah. I don't like taking all the pictures.
15 minutes.
Also,
And learn how to do it.
I'm assuming he's doing like multiple, like
it's a lot.
lots of checks.
Yeah,
Usually-
grabbing cash for the nanny.
I don't know about his, but mine has a 3,500 mobile deposit limit.
Oh, man.
So you'd have to wait another 24 hours.
Mine's First Republic. I'm literally the poorest person at the bank, so I think they've got a max. Went in for a savings account. Me and Cease were like, "What's the interest on a savings account?" They were like, "It's 0.001% if you have $500,000 or more."
It's pretty good. It's pretty good money come back. I guess.
Yeah.
Gotta have $1 million in there.
Yeah.
So where was I? I fucking thought.
15 minutes in Los Angeles,
okay,
babe.
okay.
You gotta go to the bank.
All right. So this is something that
I mean, it's just disgusting.
I'm sorry. I'm anxiety ridden when someone puts me in a
Compromising.
basically a position where I'm uncomfortable. Compromising? What's that word? All right, we'll figure it out. All right.
Did you say uncomfortable?
It's uncomfortable, but I got to judge whether or not I'm going to say something to the person or not, because it will get uncomfortable. But it's
confrontational.
That's another word you could say. But it was a woman, so it wouldn't be confrontational. All right. Anyway,
Conflicted?
let me set this up.
Conflicted?
Conflict. I'll think of it later. All right.
No, I think we've got to get this right.
All right. Well, let me give the scenario, and then you put the word in. All right.
Okay.
We'll reverse engineer this. So I got to make
You
the
can't
deposits.
have conflict with a woman?
I prefer not to,
Okay.
because I'm a big male. So anyway, I'm at the
Kind of
bank.
thin. Anyways, go ahead.
And I go to those ATMs where you drive up. And at this particular Bank of America down the street, there's two of them. And it's very, very tight. So when you pull up to the ATM, in order to allow the other person or another car to get by you, you got to settle in. You got to saddle up
Get
next
close
to the ATM.
window.
Right.
Right.
So,
Which you should anyways, because it's easier access. You don't want to be
100%.
leaning all the way out of the car.
So Dylan, play the clip of this young lady who had enough room to get to the ATM because I had properly pulled over for my transaction. All right, here we go. I think she knew I was recording her, by the way.
Okay.
All right, describe what's happening.
There is a woman taking up the entire driveway. She is out of her car. So this woman doesn't know how this machine works. Now, this is an interesting situation because I think this is pure stupidity.
Okay.
This is an inconsiderate. This isn't an inconsiderate person. This is a dumb person.
Now, I'm trying to give her more credit with that. I'm also trying to weigh this out because I was there first. So now once she passes me, and we know ATM transactions, right? She's kind of looking at me like, which I did appreciate. She was making eye contact with me. I think she was trying to weigh like, is this guy ready to go? And now I am blocking him, and he's gonna be sitting behind me.
Totally.
These are the insane things that I spend my time with. But
That's exactly what's happening here.
Well, I felt like this was very disrespectful. I felt like when she saw that, hey, this person behind me is probably want to get home to their family, maybe I should get back in my car and reestablish myself closer to the ATM machine.
Now here's the make or break moment right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's the look, right?
Okay.
You've established eye contact with the party.
Yeah.
Now this look implies that she knows that at least something's up.
Right.
You know, maybe
I'm
she's
recording her.
Maybe she's not sure exactly what's going on, but I think to not give her that credit would be unfair. I think that she can see that there's something bad here, that she's made an error.
Okay.
And here, she chooses not to do anything about it. She commits the wrong way. I think she's a nervous Nelly. I think she's a dumb nervous Nelly. I think that's all this is.
Now, I
feel like she didn't complete her transaction. You made her uncomfortable.
I didn't say a word. Now, I have parked in that same exact spot one time, and then it was a gigantic one of those stupid dually things that was at the ATM machine.
Yeah.
I looked out, I started feeling weird, and I got out of my car, pulled out, backed up to it. I basically took paint off my car to pull myself in there because I consider myself a good human being.
Yeah.
This person.
If you were a great human being, you wouldn't have pulled in there in a dually. You would have just done it at a different time.
Well,
in a different
you have your
vehicle.
opinions on
And
different
you'd be
people.
talking about ideas.
So this eats up 8 minutes of that 15. I'm going to show you how the other 8 was. Now, on the last podcast of APS, I'm not sure what feeds you listen on, I debuted a new, very prominent zombie in Los Angeles, and that's the bellhop.
Right.
You will see a zombie bellhop right around the corner from where I live at work. Here we go.
Yes, please. Thank you. Oh. 2, please.
Okay, what do we got here?
Well, there's the zombie bellhop. Look how broken down people are in this city. We're all just broken down.
I don't understand your aggression towards the bellhop. The bellhop is offering a service at the very least. The person that I interacted with the other day refused me getting them food, asked for $5, then yelled after me that they want Chinese food, not what I can get them from the gas station. That person is offering nothing.
Dylan, this is not the Hilton. This is not my apartment building. This is a convenience store. I can open the fucking door on my own.
Sure.
You are grafting an expectation on me and creating anxiety in my body.
That's your problem. Detach,
it is
walk
not
past
everybody
it.
feels it. Get
No.
the fuck away from the door. Go stand on the other corner with your stupid sign.
It's so crazy that you have such ire towards the bellhop, one of the most helpful forms of a zombie. Wow. How do you feel?
I'm with you. I like.
Yeah.
I do always think like my favorite zombies are like the talent show zombies. They got they got a banjo or something. They're sitting in a corner. So
They're like gypsies. They're playing spoons.
now they may have worked harder at their craft than the bellhop, but at least he's starting someplace.
Right. Exactly.
I'm with Dylan.
There's-
Like the window washer.
Oh, well, let me say this, though, Nick and Dylan, and both of you are absolutely wrong.
I'm not, and by the way, I'm not going to pay this person.
Today,
I appreciate that. they're
earlier,
trying.
I walked by a zombie, because this is the thing. You got to
Do you mean a human?
Right. You have to have your head on a swivel now with zombies, because they'll punch you or throw you in front of a train.
Pat, you have never been punched or thrown in front of a train by a homeless person.
When I worked on Hollywood Boulevard and the zombies down there, they would hurt you. You had to be careful. Zombies killed you down there. So this city, what they throw on their tax-paying citizens and they allow to walk on these streets that could potentially... Hey, by the way, 2 fucking zombies killed 2 people last week. What are you talking about? One zombie punched a 70-year-old nurse and killed her. And the
Holy
other
shit.
zombie walked into a furniture store and stabbed a poor girl to death. So both of you be quiet. I don't want zombies 2 feet away from me. Keep your distance, zombie. Other than that, I have no thoughts.
I didn't know that there were stabbies. I didn't know that. I thought they were just kind of more bashful about their plight. Too insecure to really be that aggressive towards anybody who had a job and a family and stuff like that.
How about Nikki over here? Talent show zombies.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's how you got to really make hay. That's how you get yourself out of the gutter. Learn to juggle.
All right, so with I don't think that this is I gotta start. I have to start meditating, and so do you. I don't know how you're doing with stuff, but I feel like meditation, if you really gave it a crack, I think that we could let some of this stuff roll off our shoulders
I'm
a little bit more.
pretty good headspace. I've been journaling.
Okay, good.
Really?
Journaling is
Yeah.
very, very important.
And I just start with 3. What'd you do yesterday? What do you want to do today? It helps.
What'd you do yesterday?
Yesterday, I
It
edited.
doesn't matter.
I edited, and then I went to King and the Sting, and I did the show. I thought it was a good show. I decided I need to be more prepped for that because we didn't have enough topics.
Oh, boy.
Or not King and the Sting. Cats After Dark. It's this new show that we're doing with me, Cat Chappelle. It's going too far into it, but it was a good day.
When are we coming on that show?
Pretty soon.
Okay.
We
So
just started.
so
We haven't brought guests on yet.
there's this thing where we've talked about it. The city has a kinetic energy that vibrates at a very, very high frequency. It's something that I'm addicted to. It's something that causes a kind of chemical imbalance in me when I'm in a peaceful place for too long. Something bucolic. It's beautiful for 4 or 5 days, and then I start to get antsy. I need to get back to the city. I can be in New York for 2 weeks. I can't be in Virginia for 2 weeks. I'm addicted to this shit.
Mm-hmm. Los Angeles.
This snow. Yeah. But if you're not in a mental place where you can kind of bat away the annoyances, it can really grate on you. So I need some cords from Best Buy. And I'm trying to go to mom and pop shops because I realize that there are juggernauts like Amazon that are eating their lunch. You know, mom and pop shops like Best Buy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get these cords. They're 6 foot, 10 foot auxiliary extenders. They're unicorn cords for Best Buy. Little did I know.
I was just gonna say. I mean, basically, if you're getting any type of cord, you're not going to find it at brick and mortar. But the thing is, I'm sure you needed it day of. But you need,
day before.
Yeah, but you're going to need 2 days, and you're going to need to order that from Amazon.
100%.
Hope was all lost when Fry's went out of business.
And and the tail end of Fry's, that was...
there's nothing in here. It's just a giant alien ship, but you don't have anything.
And there's no employees walking around.
Okay, so
I'm excited to hear how this turns out for you.
It's so funny that you just painted that picture. So I go to I Google my local Best Buy, the Los Feliz location. I find the number, 213 area code. I dial the store. I looked up the number for a reason. It, of course, sends me to the national helpline, the national line. I've got to go through 4 different fucking, what do you call them? Touch tone menus, whatever. And you rarely feel more defeated in life than when you yell at an automated person and they don't budge. You know, I need to talk to someone.
Talk to a person.
Talk to a person fucking now, asshole. Beep.
I just go, operator.
It doesn't work sometimes. So finally I get through to a rather sassy African American woman, my kryptonite. I've literally never won against them. They defeat me every time I go up against one of them.
So easy. They're so easy to charm.
Oh my God. I'm not in a charming mood, okay? I don't want to be sent to the national line. I called the store. Anyway, she picks up. I say I need headphones and these cables. And she begins an interrogation. Like they're trying to get more info on their consumer base or something.
Shocking.
Why do I need the headphones? What?
Oh.
Why do I need the cord? Why are you... I literally said, why are you asking me these questions?
Whoa. I thought they were just going to ask which I think is invasive as well, your zip code and your email.
No. We'll get to the zip code question in a second. So I say, please send me to the Los Feliz location. I need to speak to someone in the store. She says, all right, very rude to me. I was very rude to her. We move on.
Maybe that's the problem.
No, she started rude.
Oh, okay.
But I need to meditate. So I get through to the next guy. The thickest Indian accent. I mean, I can't understand. God bless you. You're working. You're trying to help me, but I can't fucking understand what you're saying. So
she was like, "Oh, did you say Los Feliz? I thought you said Delhi."
Right. So he picks up and he says, "What do you need? Why do you need it?" Again, this interrogating me about these things that I need. I say, I need this. Thought the information would have been relayed, but no, it never is. No. Please enter in your ID number. You enter it in. They answer. First question, what's your ID number? It's insane. It's insane. So this guy says, and I'm not going to do the accent.
Do you want to just write it out and have Pat say it?
So he says... I said, do you have these in stock? And he does a little tapping away. Tap. And he says, yes, we have all of these things in stock. I say, great. Can you set this many aside? He says, no problem. Need you to pay first.
Oh.
And I said, no, because, and I said this, I'm principally opposed to doing that. And he said, okay, no problem. And I said, how many do you have in the store? And he said, well, what's your zip code? And I said, hang on. Are you not at the Los Feliz location? And he said, no, sir. And I said, so let me get this straight. You wanted me to pay you for inventory at a store that I don't know where it is. And he said, well, we have stores all over the country, sir. And I said, I'm not driving to Hawthorne after I pay you to get these cords?
Very good point.
So he said, all right, don't have a cow.
Did he say that?
No.
Oh, that'd be great.
Don't have a sacred cow.
Don't have a cow. Essentially, his tone was like, take it easy. I've done nothing wrong here. And from my perspective, no, you've done everything wrong. You've told me to pay for something. Go ahead.
Can I remind you how you started? How you started on this journey was you wanted to go
Support
to
mom and pop.
support mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
And not Jeff Bezos.
Right.
Which would have just been a couple clicks.
So the story ends like this. I drive over to Best Buy. He does confirm that location does have the inventory I need. So I say, good. I'm not going to pay for it, but I'll go over there now. He says, in so many words, have a good time. You'll find what you need there. So I walk in. No one works there. There are Verizon employees working at the booth selling cell phones, hawking fucking cell phones, and one guy who works in the Apple department. There is no one else there.
Nope.
So I'm standing around, and finally I see an elder man named Hugo. And I begin to speak in a language that he literally has never heard. I don't think he's heard a person say the word auxiliary once. He has zero fucking clue what I'm talking about, so he sends me over to his buddy Gregor.
Hugo's boss?
No.
It's just a joke.
Okay, so
He's got a fan base that digs that.
no, I don't find puns funny, but I do find them impressive, and he is quick with them. So I
don't even find them funny.
I go over to Gregor, and he is a young buck who I presume to be baked out of his mind, and he says, "Yeah, we don't have anything." And I go, okay, great. And I leave the store. And I am thinking...
He's like, can I interest you in a giant curved TV?
Right, exactly. We don't have anything practical, but if you'd like to spend $3,700 on this television, I can throw in a sound bar for free. So I am leaving this store, and I am thinking, fuck it. I don't think Jeff Bezos should have an accountant so good that he gets to report income loss. But fine, go ahead and do it. I don't give a shit. You can get me my stuff in 2 days. I'm going to Amazon from now on for this stuff. Outside of artisanal products like wine-washed cheeses and natural wine and pâtés and things like that, I'm just going to Amazon because Staples, Best Buy, all of these mom and pop shops are failing me at every turn.
Isn't it odd that
better?
The number one contributors to the Democratic Party was, in fact, Jeff Bezos and Amazon. And isn't it interesting?
This isn't going to get political, is it, Pat?
But isn't it interesting that once the Democrats took power, they decided to infuse money for people to stay home, thus not showing up to work?
It's going to get political. Oh, my
So
God.
then when you go into a PetSmart or a Petco or a Staples or a Best Buy and you go, hello. I just want to buy paper. There's no one fucking there because they were given money to stay home.
Yes, and people do need welfare in a pandemic, but it has gone a little bit too far. But we're also dealing with a supply chain problem right now. But we've got to figure this the fuck out because these mom and pop shops, Costco, Best Buy, Staples, they're important to the fabric of this city and our existence in a capitalist hellhole known as the United States of America. But if you're going to fuck it up, then let's just give Jeff another $37 billion a month because you guys can't fucking do it. It means nothing to him now. Who gives a fuck? 700 billion, 1 trillion, I don't care. Just give it to him. Get me my shit. I'm hot.
Now they are getting worse by the day, but you could have tried a Guitar Center. You would have had to go to the Valley.
I would have had to go to Sunset and Fairfax or by the Comedy Store or Ventura Boulevard and Sherman Oaks. And even then, the people that work at Guitar Center, They're all fucking stoners too. They used to be in
Dylan.
bands. You'll call up, ask, do you have this? They'll say yes. You walk in, they don't have it. It's happened to me 3 times.
They're announcing
before.
bankruptcy this year.
Guitar Center?
Yes.
I told you they're getting worse for the
I
day.
fucking went in there to buy my daughter her first guitar.
It's crazy.
The place, and I am not kidding, in Sherman Oaks, California, is probably 8,000 square feet. There were 2 people in there, and I had to search for someone for the guitar department.
Now,
I've had good luck with them recently, and it turns out a lot of them are big podcast fans.
they got a lot of good pod equipment in there.
You would have got someone friendly who was excited to talk your ear off.
Sure.
And then
But
the
I
other
don't-
option
I
is
don't want to do that, though. I don't want to talk to you about podcasting.
the other option to order online without putting money
Will you
in
put
Jeff.
that thing in your eye? That is disturbing.
Is if you don't want to put money in Jeff Bezos' pockets, Sweetwater Sound, based out of Indiana. The sales staff is so
Sweetwater
nice.
Sound, okay.
Yeah, they don't have the delivery. They can do like upfront delivery or whatever, but you're gonna pay a little bit.
That's
But
where we bought this stuff.
good people.
Totally
Yes.
fine paying more because I don't want to pay that fucking bald, cock-looking human.
Yes, that's where we bought this stuff.
Isn't it crazy he made his spaceships look like his head?
It's so funny to see what he looked like back then and what he looks like now. I mean, he looks like a buff cock now, and that's exactly what he is. But listen, this is a very complicated, layered problem, because there should be, antitrust regulatory powers going on. I don't want to get political, but all I'm saying is Bezos doesn't need the next Lord of the Rings and a web hosting thing that is the most profitable wing of their company. Anyways, what are you doing on your phone?
I'm texting our guest that we're going to be calling an Uber right now.
Okay,
do you
great.
mind doing the Uber thing, Dill?
All right, we got to move on.
Yeah, something more positive or something. You got me heated up there, and I normally don't get that heated up here.
You guys hear about Rudy Giuliani?
I did.
All right. So,
Did you?
the people who produce The Masked Singer
Have quite this sense of humor.
I don't think electroshock therapy is done. We don't do it to people anymore,
No.
right? They need it. What are you doing? Where is that filmed? Fairfax? Or where on the Fox lot? I don't know. But what are you doing bringing Rudy Giuliani into it? Why don't you set up the story?
I didn't know if we were really going to talk about it, just because there's not footage of it. But the Masked Singer, known
How
for
could there be?
Oh, this
footage
hasn't
of it?
aired yet?
no,
And it
okay.
never will.
I think it will.
No. I thought they
You
said that they
you can't have 2 judges walk off the set.
Yeah.
They came back.
Oh, they did.
Later, I don't think. Well, Rudy was up there. I'm interested in how it plays out because when you have a whole day of filming and they had other people on it, I don't know if they just cut out that segment or what. But Masked Singer, known for having some controversial contestants as their Masked Singers.
Really?
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Oh, really?
Big
Okay.
hoopla a couple years ago.
Oh, so that's what's going on. There are
They're rabble rousers.
there are either Republicans producing the show or they're doing it to piss people off and get more viewers.
I think that show gets a lot of people watching that.
And I don't think there's ever been a time where the contestants have been leaked. I TFC time, but we're all talking about it.
The only thing
suspicious.
I thought of was what is the guy Ken
Jong.
I have never found that fucking guy funny.
He's the worst.
He is. You think so too?
Yeah, I because he likes.
Why is he the worst? He seems so like innocuous to me. Like he was funny in The Hangover, doing that
Well, I mean, we saw his
stereotypically
dick.
offensive thing.
A very offensive, stereotypical Asian man.
Yeah.
And he was 44 when he started with that.
I was with you. He used to I was neutral on Ken Jeong. He did his role. He was very funny in Community as the Spanish teacher who didn't know Spanish. Pretty funny role. But like he's very because he's still quote unquote like a practicing doctor, or he keeps his license. He thinks that gives him a platform to like speak with authority on COVID. Like I don't think he's like treating patients and stuff.
Oh, got it.
There's a number of things he does.
But at least he's a doctor.
Now, I don't want to get political, Patrick, but
right.
I don't like the guy because of his views.
Actually, if he's a doctor, talk away on COVID. I don't give a fuck. At least you got a medical license.
He was like an OBGYN or something. Bullshit.
well,
pediatrician.
Like Bill Cosby in that show.
Dr. Huxtable. I just don't find Ken funny. I've never laughed at anything. I've made more people laugh than he has, in my opinion, I think.
Oh, you know what? Can we switch topics really, really quickly? Sure. Just to brighten the mood up a little bit. Your dog died last weekend.
Yep, Winnie.
How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling a little bit better because she was old. And I believe the only sad part was she died on Friday night, or I'm sorry, Saturday morning. We had one last veterinarian appointment for her on Monday.
Sure.
And she never made it.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
It is, right? That's what my wife said. Yeah, why do you say that? Because they're on their way out.
Well, it happens so quickly. When they're going to die, they're going to die.
And I would also say it might be some just like sort of bias because like the older they get, the more closer to death, the more frequent their veterinary appointments will be scheduled.
Sure.
So, so it's like a little. It's not beta. What am I looking for? But it's not coincidence that happens.
And this, I don't know if this is the way. I don't know if this is happening in other states or cities, but the veterinary community is a criminal enterprise in Los Angeles.
I have to tell you, if it's not a criminal enterprise, it's definitely taking full advantage of people in a tough position.
Definitely a racket.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a documentary or a podcast that came out, perhaps under the umbrella of NPR, thrown up on Hulu about somebody in insurance figuring out that they can fuck people out of money in their darkest moment.
Well, let me tell you something. My wife was not going to allow me to do this with Winnie. So my dog Spot, who died 3 years ago. I love
your son.
My son. I love that dog so much that even when he was 18 years old and he looked like the land of the misfit toy, he looked like a toy. His fur was all he got so old that I would bring him to get his a shower and a bath and a manicure and all that shit.
What'd you say the last thing?
Manicure. Cut his nails.
How often did you do that?
Like once a month. But he
Holy
still
shit.
looked busted and broke, right? And so when he started going downhill, basically every week the last couple months, I dropped $1,000 a week. So I'd bring him to the vet.
Yeah.
And
so dumb.
Oh, craziness.
Dude,
So,
my dad told my Uncle June, who was in the Navy and constantly had a cheek filled with Levi Garrett, that he had to fly back to Los Angeles because we were going to be putting our dog down, our golden retriever. He loved her very, very much. My Uncle June was so confused. I mean, so confused.
a different generation looked at having pets differently than we do now.
He asked why we didn't just shoot it.
Right.
And from the bottom of his heart, he asked that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, so get this. So the wife, Cherie, is, we make a great couple. We complete each other. Yeah. Okay. So the last visit with Spot was $3,000. And when they came in with that price, when the woman left, she leaves the paperwork there of all the things they're going to do.
What were they going to do?
Rip
his heart out and
they
put
were
a new
gonna
one in?
Rehydrate him, and all that other stuff. And so I said, I have to do this for me one last time. She was like, you're just keeping this dog and you're being very selfish.
Yeah. So, Cherie said this.
Yeah. So that week I had to fly out for business in New York City, and the wife calls me on Friday. I wasn't due to be back on Sunday. She's like, Spot, he's not eating, because I decided at the tail end of his life, fuck it. He was a street dog. He lived with a homeless guy in a car.
Of course
for the first 10 years.
he was a street dog.
So I buy a McDonald's every day, and I just let him eat McDonald's. Fuck it. How long? Let him just do it.
That probably killed him quicker.
He didn't even want to eat the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, this is not good.
Heartbreaking.
So I get back just in time on Friday night. He sleeps on the bed. Next morning, I'm like, I think he just wants water. So I start taking like a syringe and giving him water with my hand.
Oh my
and
God.
Cherie comes out and she says, Pat, no. You are not doing this to him.
She just picks him up and throws him against the wall.
She said, no, I'm calling, because she already made like plans and stuff, and she basically stopped it.
She's being a rational human being.
She was being a rational human being. And basically, I fell into it. He passed that day because the people come over and whatever. He's buried in the backyard right behind the studio. Yeah. And I fell into a deep, dark depression for about 3 months.
Now, I asked you this not to go so far down a dark, dark place where you are
people find comfort with it.
Keeping alive this Frankenstein thing that you have in your house.
You were depressed for 3 months, Pat?
Oh, I used to be the middle of the day and I just start crying.
Yeah, no. You had a very special relationship with the dog. But I've talked about it before. I'm firmly, as I get older, comfortable with the fact that I am a cat guy. I love dogs, but I'm a cat guy. Our dear Lucy was in my crib with me from, when I got home from the hospital until she perished. Then I had my darling Theo.
I think that explains it, that the cat being in your crib. I never knew that.
Yeah. Cat in my crib, literally from very early on. My grandmother Ruthie was like, "What are you doing letting the cat in the crib? It's very dangerous. She's got fecal matter on her nails." And Ruthie was right.
Yeah, you could have had, what's that thing that the cats have?
Jaundice? I don't fucking know.
No,
that fucking parasite that makes men more aggressive in soccer teams.
Yeah.
Great. We got to do a little history, a little Dill on that. That's an interesting thing.
All of a sudden, toddler Dill had this urge to drive motorcycles.
Yes. And I did go through that phase.
Do you know what we're talking about at all? It's this thing.
Toxoplasmosis?
Nice.
Wow.
Impressive poll.
You guys have a lot of time on your hands.
I mean,
no, we have the same amount as you. We just don't watch 4 hours worth of Janet Jackson documentaries. Patrick.
I waste just as much time. I just retain some weird just words. I like words.
So,
but I didn't retain that one.
So, I am getting kind of... I'm happier than ever that... Not that I'm a cat person. I love my cat too much. I'll be the same when our dear Dot passes away. Hopefully we'll have a child at that point, so we really won't love the cat that much, though. So I'm looking forward to that. But
you sound like Cherie.
Dog people, and not people with dogs, because I think that you are a person with dogs, but dog people make me sick. Oh. These people that live life through their dog. They take them to the cafe. There's a network of other dogs at the cafe. They strike up friendships with people through their dogs. Oh, that's Lady. She's the German Shepherd.
I'm not that person.
I know you're not that person, but a lot of people with dogs are those people. My neighbors, we live in a triplex or whatever. Triplex. 2 of them, they both have dogs, and I constantly hear, "Rhino, no, Rhino. Blue, stop it." The dog is trying to bite at children through a chain link fence, and it's Blue. But these people, it's just so... I guess I'm saying I'm happy that my darling Cecilia and I can walk through life without something on a leash. That has to interact with other things on a leash. That has to... be mindful of tugging away. It just seems like such a fucking to-do.
I get it, Dylan. You don't want any emotional attachments.
I have an extreme... How dare you, you cynical pig. I have a very strong emotional attachment to my cat.
Attachment.
But I'm just happy that I don't have to walk through life with a dog because I don't want to be a dog person. That's it for us. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars. This was a quick one because we've got a very important guest coming up. If you haven't heard our interview,
guest coming up
with the newest cast member from Bravo's Below Deck Sailing. Maybe it is just a guest. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars. Let us know what you thought. Join us on Patreon for another one of these every week at patreon.com/anotherpodcastnetwork. YouTubies. Watch all those videos that Pat had of the bellhops and the inconsideracies and all that stuff at Another Podcast Show on YouTube. Subscribe, like, tell your friends. Steal credit cards. We love you guys very much. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Goodbye.